Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video. Today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, and you might have noticed I've not uploaded in over a week. That's the first time ever that I have done that, but that's just really because I have not been having any voice. I've been really gruff or husky, if that's the word. I tried to translate it, but I couldn't really find the perfect word for it, I guess. And really, at some point, I did not have any voice to talk. And now it's starting to recover a little bit. It's not optimal, but it's okay enough where I can make videos again. So, as I said, I've been a little bit sick, but I want to get back into some real cool content here as there's been so much stuff that has been happening and I've not been covering it all. So let's start today by just bringing you guys some updates again. First of all, top banks who utilized Ripple's XRP in 2016 said it worked beautifully. This is just a clear example again of how adoption is coming as a snowball. At first, in 2016, there were a lot of partners or parties using Ripple already. All right, we did not really get too many updates back at that time, but there were a lot of them working on there already. Now, it always takes time, of course, due to NDAs, but also due to testing, and they just got testing now, before these parties actually express their feelings and how they've been experiencing everything. And in this case here, now in 2019, all the way at the end, we're hearing some cool stuff. We're hearing from Stewart XRP, these 12 banks use XRP for 6 months in 2016. Barclays, BMO, CBIC, Intesta San Paulo, Macquarie Group, National Australia Bank, Natixis, Nordea, Royal Bank of Canada, Santander, Scotia Bank, and Westpac. They said it worked beautifully by Leonidas Haujitzulu. Let's actually quickly watch this 1.5 minute video, because it's pretty interesting. Let's quickly watch it.
Tell you a story. 3 years ago, we actually experimented with 12 banks across different geographies who did not have pre-funding relationship with each other. We gave them a bunch of digital asset called XRP and asked them to use it to see if it works for cross-border payments as a bridge currency. They came back to us after 6 months and they said, look, it works beautifully, but we cannot use this. And there are two issues with this. Number one, it's highly volatile, so we cannot use it. Number two, my regulator will never allow me to use this. There is no risk weighting to this, and it's too volatile. There is no way the central banks will allow me to use this. This was in 2015-16. So what we did was, and this is 3-4 years ago, before the whole concept of stable coins came into being. So we went back to the drawing board and came up with a new product, as I mentioned, ODL, on-demand liquidity. And basically what that product does is, through that product, banks do not have to hold a digital asset on their books. They could leverage that product, connect with a digital asset exchange, which, mind you, is fully licensed and supervised, and then leverage that exchange to source liquidity in real time. And because the entire transaction happens in less than 30 seconds, because of the speed of the ledger, the volatility risk is taken care of. So we removed the two big concerns that banks and payment providers had and almost productized it in a way, and then we launched the product last year in October.
So yeah, if you hear it like that, it really sounds kind of crazy how they're taking such a big industry and just removing all those frictions, removing all the problems, and really making everything work beautifully. As we're seeing here now as a sort of feedback, but also a kind of announcement, that what they're doing is just working so amazing that there's no way I can envision a world without it now. It's really strange, I know, but it's really the way I view it. While a lot of people ponder what has happened since then and why the XRP hasn't mooned yet, some others believe XRP's failure to surge in price until now is tied to the regulation and adequate infrastructure in the industry as a whole. I believe it's a combination of regulation and the infrastructure that's still being built that's causing the holdup. Some of that infrastructure would need regulatory approval. In my honest opinion, Stewart XRP opined. And I actually do quite agree with that. I don't really think it's the adoption of XRP that's lacking here. I also don't think it's the adoption of Ripple or the way that Ripple's handling things. It's really just the world, so to speak, or the infrastructure or the regulation that's not yet ready for such great improvement, such great change. We all know that changes take time, and big changes like this that are changing the financial system, which is of course trillions of dollars every day, is something that cannot just be done overnight. And specifically here, the price of said coin, in this case XRP, can't just go rise to $50 a coin right now just because it would change the world that much, whereas they're trying to not make that happen yet. It's just something that I personally believe. What's expected when appropriate regulations are laid down? Huge demand. Price surge for XRP, probably as these banks will continue to demand XRP crypto. One kind of buzzkill or one kind of a dream killer that I have for you right there is that there's not going to be a huge increase in demand from banks or anything, just because there's no net increase in supply nor demand when XRP transactions take place in terms of XRapid. What there is going to be, though, is a huge demand from people, which are you and I, just because we know now that there's such an expansion, such a use case for XRP. Whereas we know it's useful, so why not store it up, right? Still, the question kind of lies like, how high can the coin go just because it's not a store of value, but something you transact with? How high should it go? But the more and more people start to use it for transactions on a daily basis, the easier it's going to become when that coin is higher up in price. The more people that are going to stack it up just to keep it because, again, it's speculational purposes. And in the end, also why the price may increase. Barry Garlinghouse himself said use case is going to dictate the price. Still kind of wondering exactly how that happens, but I'm still quite happy for it. And I do still think there's a lot of room for growth. And despite banks restricting crypto-related transactions, Canadian banks, for example, had the most significant representation among the 12 banks which used the digital currency and must have gotten permission from the central bank to carry out the tests. This is actually a really important part, just in general, such a huge bank in Canada here, the Royal Bank of Canada, I don't think they can just go around and test whatever they want, right? They must have gotten permission from one higher up authority to actually go ahead and utilize these things, to start these tests. And if you start to see it from that perspective, it's actually really amazing what's going on right now. Just how they're all accepting it, it's just really amazing. However, after the right infrastructure and regulations are made, it may not be too surprising to discover that these banks are holding large amount of crypto. That's also a part that's going to make the price increase, where banks are just going to hold it. Also, to kind of get away from this Nostro Vostro, they might just kind of replace Nostro Vostro with XRP holding, just because it's kind of Nostro and Vostro at the same time, where you're removing one of the two, not both, but just replacing one, because it's so simple for transactions. I don't know exactly if they're going to be doing that, but it's an idea. It's something that can be happening. But that will be speculation still, though. But yeah. Ripple price prediction, we need this level to be taken out to move higher. I just want to kind of opine here or question if you guys are still interested in price predictions for XRP and Ripple. I'm just saying XP and Ripple here. We're not talking about Ripple stock. We're talking about XRP, the cryptocurrency only. Here they're saying Ripple a lot, but you guys know, we know it's XRP. The problem is just that everybody calls it Ripple, that, it's so much easier to call it Ripple XRP just because there's so much confusion, and for SEO purposes, in theory, I should always be calling it XRP. I know. Ripple trades 0.41% lower as it ran into trouble today. There was an internal trend line that stopped the price from moving higher. Ripple chart analysis here. XPUSD has been making a broad-based pattern recently. Now we are at a level which needs to be taken out for the bulls to take charge, yada, yada, yada. Resistance level at 0.2331. Guys, problem with me is I really don't care about the price too much. Right now we're at the lowest point of 2019, lowest point, or even below the lowest point of 2018, and I don't give a shit. Why? Just because I know it's all going to rise in the future if what we're doing right now is the right thing. I just think, get your layering strategy in place, keep buying lower whenever you think is appropriate to keep your average price as low as possible, and that's about it. There's nothing really else that you need to be doing. If you're worrying about the price, might not be the good investment for you because I think it's a longer term thing. And as long as you have that longer term vision, there's nothing to worry about, I guess. It's just so simple to hold through. It's really insane to me. Market cap below 200 billion. Yeah, we're just not doing too good in crypto in general as well. Top 5 cryptos this week: XTZ, Atom, XRP, XMR, and BNB. Just found it interesting that XRP is actually among this list of the best cryptos this week. The reason why they are actually is because of how good they're doing in terms of developments, not necessarily in terms of price, because as we can all see, the bears are winning the race right now. In the ongoing court case to determine whether XRP is a security or not, Ripple has filed a motion to dismiss the class action lawsuit arguing that even if XRP were a security, the statute of repose had passed before the lawsuit was brought to court. This is actually a really big thing a couple of weeks ago, I should say. Following the footsteps of Morningstar Japan, Japan financial service giant SBI Holdings plans to pay shareholder dividends in the form of XRP tokens. I think they've already been doing that for quite a while. They're saying here that they're planning to, but from our sources that we read earlier, they were already doing this, right? And also, from our sources, we saw that Ripple was also paying their employees, or at least some of their employees, partially in XRP. I still don't completely know where those XRPs are coming from. Like, for example, for SBI here, are they buying it over the counter and then giving it out in dividends? Or are they, are SBI Holdings considered a team, and are they getting XRP from, just for free? Or how does it work? And same for Ripple. Can they just give their employees XRPs that they have in escrow? When they come out, they just give them to their employees. They just pay them out of that? Or how does it work? Because in that case, if that were the case, it's kind of just free money, right? For Ripple, if you see from that perspective. Or I'm just questioning. Just seeing what you guys are going to say about that, because I just don't know where the XRP is coming from in this case. Does SBI hold a lot of XRP that they bought? Or how? How does it work? Let me know. Here's a little bit more about price analysis, but we can skip on that. There's more price analysis here about every coin. I just saw it. I was like, hey, let me put it in there. Maybe you're interested in BTC here. These are good articles that explain, quite well what's happening here in bigger lines, so you can quickly check that out. Here's the XRP one, and here's another one. Ripple says XRP technical analysis. XRP to USD weekly chart remains largely bearish. Ripple says XRP price is trading in the red by some 0.5% in the session on Monday. XRP to USD price action via the weekly chart view shows bears maintain control, and the price has been falling for 5 consecutive weeks as the stubborn trend south remains. Thank you, article writer Ken Chigbo and the rest of these guys for telling us that the price is moving down. Like we did not know, right? And that's the reason I don't like to go too much into these price or technical analysis articles, because all they're doing is stating the obvious. They're telling you the price is going down and possibly what support and resistance lines are there. But really what they're doing is just exactly explaining what's going on right now. And we can all see it by just looking at these numbers here. We can see the price is going down. All you're wondering is, when is the price going to go up? But they can never tell you. And that's why sometimes I think it's just a waste of time to cover it, because they don't have the answers. They're just showing you support and resistance. And that's the only thing you can really pick up from there. TA, technical analysis, you can read from there. Yes, you can. But is it going to make any difference? No, because if you don't know how to do it yourself, then it's not going to do you any good, really, because you're not going to utilize it anyway. So what's the purpose of checking it? It's just a waste of time, in my opinion, except for if you're trading it shorter term. But then you should know the patterns yourself. You don't need to watch them, because watching them is worse than making it yourself, because you really need to get the full picture then. So you make it yourself. But okay. Tron CEO Justin Sun gets trolled for trying to help cash-strapped Ethereum developers. Still kind of wondering why people hate him so much, man. They're putting so much shit on his head. It's just insane. I still wondering also when the Buffett launch is going to be, because I'm still guessing there was something which made him not able to lunch with Buffett. Why would he cancel because he got sick or because he got stomach, I don't know the English word for it anymore. Got kidney stones, I believe. That's it. Yeah, kidney stones. He canceled it because he got kidney stones? For real? I don't think he canceled the most important lunch of the decade or because of the couple of decades because of kidney stones. I think he would have just gone, even if he was almost dead. So I think there was something keeping him back there. Digibyte CEO slamming him. He's just been having a shit show, really. It's really been insane. Just kind of wondering when we're going to, pass him some slack. Because, yeah. We would love to fund Ethereum developers to migrate their works to Tron. Super easy, always build. Buying Ethereum devs like you bought BitTorrent so you can stamp CEO of Ethereum on it. Aria. Tron would disappear like it appeared. Justin Sun will end up in federal prison for money laundering and fraud-related stuff. Ethereum is number 2 and is 1,000 times stronger than TRX in the tech and in price. Just look at BTT price and volume and you will understand. So actually quickly check out BTT then, I guess. BitTorrent. I've not checked BTT in a very long while. 30 days minus 30% here. Let's check out since the start. Okay, yeah, the price is nothing really. It has no price at all. It's a couple of Satoshi. Right. I did not know that. I knew it was cheap from the start, as we can see right here. But I knew it was that cheap and that low now. Okay, that's pretty interesting to me. Yeah. Alright, but I don't really hold BTT. I don't believe I hold any, actually. So I guess that's not really a big issue. They have a huge total supply, though. Look at that. 5% over the daily. Yeah, pretty interesting to see. But guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you did all enjoy. Hopefully my voice was not too awful to listen to. And hopefully I'll see you back in another video. Make sure you press the like button and make sure you subscribe for more content. See you guys again in another one. Take care.